Life is but a dream, they say, but how high will you fly?
Welcome to Module 6. If you're Module 6, that means you've already done Module 5, where we talked about boundaries and what kind of rules we have for our groups and how we maintain ourselves as leaders, right? And have a lot of respect for other people. And now I want you to think of who in your group are the haves and the have nots. So, what does Miss Toto mean by the haves and the have nots? What people in your group have access to technology? What people in your group don't have access to technology? What people in your group have Wi Fi? What people in your group don't have Wi Fi? What people have access to the library? What people don't have access to the library? Okay, this is going to determine what kind of leader you are and what kind of leader you can be because of what you're able to work with. Now, if everybody in the group has great Wi Fi, then cool, no problem. Maybe you can do video calls and do things like what Miss Toto is doing with you right now, right? But maybe if someone doesn't have Wi Fi or someone doesn't have the library to go to, then this might be a little bit of a problem. So now you have to think as a leader is where there's a problem, guess what? The leader has to come up to solve the problem. Okay? So everything's like math in leadership. We have to solve a problem. We have this x minus x equals what? Okay, and as the leader, you have to solve that and you have to know what x is. Okay. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? How do we make sure that on both sides that everything is fair? So let's say we have someone who has internet and someone who doesn't have internet. So maybe for the person who has internet, we'll tell them, hey, you can do the PPT, right? The PowerPoint slides, and you're going to look up pictures on the internet. Okay, that's going to be their work. Then, maybe for the person who doesn't have internet, well, guess what? They need to go to the school library. And when they go to the school library, they get different books. Maybe their job is they need to find the facts. So they need to do a little bit of scavenger hunting. So they'll be finding the facts. And then when you come together as a group, the person who's doing the PPT or the PowerPoint and the person who's doing the research in the books that they got from the library, those two people are going to come together because the information that the person who was reading the book had and the person who's on the computer, they need to work together so the information, the facts that they found can now be on the PowerPoint. Okay, so I want you to think about your team. What would you do if someone in your group, one person in your group had a computer and the other person in your group only had a phone? They only had the phone. The person with the computer had no Wi Fi and no 5G, no 4G. But the person with the cell phone has Wi Fi and has 4G or 5G. Now, what do we do? What do you do as a leader in that situation? So, I want you to think about that. And I will see you over in Module 7, which will be one of the last modules that we do before we go into story time and reflection. I'll see you in a bit.
All in all, we don't just teach our students to fly, we empower them to soar. And with that being said, what are you waiting for?